Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, February 5th, 23rd of Shabbat, Erev Shabbos, Parashas Yisro, and we are benching Rosh Chodesh this week, which means that next Shabbos is going to be Rosh Chodesh Adar, which means Mishenichnas Adar Marbim B'Simcha, and Purim is coming, and all the planning is well in the works, and we'll let everybody know the scheduling, various Megillah readings, inside, outside. I hope I'm looking outside right now, and of course it's snowing again. And I hope that we will not have to read Megillah in 3 feet of snow or something like that. But whatever it is, I guess it would only be fitting this year to finish the cycle starting from last March, going to this coming March, to why not read Megillah in 3 feet of snow? Anyway, I'm here actually recording this Friday in the home studio because we have a few kids Zooming. That's just part of life today anyway, as it is. I wanted to share a brief Devar Torah with you. Of course, this week on Yisro, we read the 10 Commandments. And we stand up, and it has a different trup, and it's very serious. And of course, we read this again on Shavuos. And one of the commandments I've been thinking a lot about lately, for obvious reasons, is Kabed es avicha ve'esimecha laman yarichon yamecha. Torah tells us you have to honor your mother and your father. And the result of that, it says, you will have length of days. Now, we have to be thankful, first of all, if we have the ability to fulfill that mitzvah of kabed es avicha ve'esimecha, to honor your father and your mother. There are people who are deprived of this mitzvah. There are people who have difficulty with this mitzvah. It's probably the most difficult mitzvah for anyone to fulfill throughout lifetime, and especially as now I'm experiencing, it really extends far beyond this world. I go to shul every day anyway, morning, evening. But when you go to shul and you have the Kaddish, that is sort of like this constant presence that's hovering above you, it's a very, very different type of davening. It's a different feeling. And I feel my father's presence sort of with me every time we recite the Kaddish, which is probably the idea. And for some it works, and for some it doesn't. And that's why you see people who maybe never step foot in a synagogue, maybe even once a year. When it comes time to say Kaddish, they're there 3 times a day, which is an incredible thing. You might call that Jewish guilt. I don't know. But I have the ability, and I had the ability to honor my parents, and it's still something that, we all struggle with because we hope we're doing it properly. As I mentioned last week in shul, and I mentioned on our shiur on Tuesday, my mother has discovered YouTube. And she is the number 1 fan now. She's the number 1 rated fan of the Eitz Chaim YouTube channel. So I have to behave myself. Hi, Mom. And have a good Shabbos, Mom. And I hope you're doing well, Mom. And I have to... she says, "Oh, I saw your class on this, and I saw you talking this." So but it's again, kabed es avicha ve'esimecha. And we've been thinking a lot about these things. How do you honor your parents, especially now when there's distance and there's separation? And one of the ways I think that we can best honor our parents, and especially after they have left this earthly existence, is by how we live our lives. If you live your life carrying on the ideals and the values of your parents, then that's the greatest honor that you can give. Laman yarichon yamecha, so we usually read that as a reward, you will have a long life. But sometimes I read it as Laman yarichon yamecha, is that if you honor your father and your mother, this will actually increase every single day for you. It will bring meaning to every single day for you. Lama'an, not that it will be the result, but again, it's a homiletic reading into it, but this will actually give you more meaning in your life. Lama'an yarichon yamecha. It doesn't say you're going to have a long life, you're going to have long years. It says long days, which is something we talk about a lot, especially now when maybe we have more free time or we have less activities to go to in person. But Laman yarichon yamecha, you want to have length of days, is that we want to make the most out of each and every day. We want to take every day, and we want to say that I capitalized on every opportunity that I had, and that I made the most of the time that was given to me. That's Laman yarichon, that's arichas yamim. That's having length of days, making the most out of all the time that we have. And if we involve ourselves in figuring out how to honor our parents, whether by actually honoring them, doing things for them, helping them, assisting them, or by living our lives with a quality life, by saying, you know what, I'm going to live the most of every day, that is also a way that we honor our parents. And that's something that it's never too late to accomplish. And that's also a mitzvah that never ever ends, which is also the beauty of it. And maybe that explains why it's in the sacred 10 Commandments. It's a whole other conversation about where the 10 Commandments stand vis-a-vis other mitzvahs in the Torah. But kabedes avicha ve'esimecha, which is on the right side of the tablets, which means that it's between man and God as well. And we all know that Torah. That's how we can give ourselves length of days. I'm thinking about this a lot lately. Of course, we just had our shloshim, and someone asked me if I cry a lot. And we have very healthy conversations about this in our house. As a matter of fact, Moshe is kind of coming to grips with the concept of death and what does it mean. And he keeps asking me, Abba, with all the snow outside, is Grandpa cold? I said, no, he's not. He said, how come? I said, Hashem keeps him warm. He said, Hashem has very long arms. So he's dealing with it in a very 5-year-old appropriate type of way. And he said, you know what? Maybe one day when I die, I'll get to see Grandpa again, etc., 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 which is, these difficult conversations, but I think important conversations to have. He also said that when he grows, that he wants to be a shul or a garbage can so that he'll never die, which is also appropriate. I mean, when you think about dying, you think about the finality of it, and also you think about losing your parents when you're a little boy. It's a scary thought. So he's processing it very, very appropriately. But somebody asked me if I cry a lot. And I spoke with my siblings about it, and we basically said, no, not really. It's not that we're cold-hearted. My brother, who said something very wise, and my brother, by the way, I see him every day. I have the privilege to daven with him every single day, and on Monday he's celebrating a milestone birthday. Any birthday, when you get past a certain age, is a milestone birthday. Happy birthday, Ben. But and he said something very wise. And he said that, sometimes people cry because they are upset that maybe there's something they should have done, or something they should have said, or something they should have accomplished. But when you live the full life, and we all felt this way about our fathers, that when we realized that, there was nothing left unsaid, there was nothing left unaccomplished, so to say, and we felt very complete in our relationship, and we feel very content. And it's a wonderful feeling, and not everybody has that blessing. We look at that also as a blessing, and that part of that was Laman Yarichon Yamecha, is that our father, he lived every single day of his life to the fullest, and he accomplished so much in his years, and we hope to follow in his footsteps. So while we all struggle with this mitzvah, we struggle with our children fulfilling this mitzvah, we struggle with fulfilling it ourselves, and it's not the easiest mitzvah in the world to fulfill. But yet, it's one of the 10 Commandments. So I hope that each and every one of us will find meaning in life. And even if our parents are long gone, we could still honor them by the way we live our lives, quality of life, and living each and every day to the fullest. As we enter the month of Adar, a month of happiness, a month of celebration, and we hope that things will start to clear up for us, both outside from the snow and also the whole sort of avira, the whole atmosphere that we are in right now, and we get ready for Purim. Let's hope that this is the beginning of a new era, and one in which we can each live our lives to the fullest. I wish each and every one of you a Shabbat Shalom. We'll see you all very, very soon.